My bratty stepdaughter expects me to give her $100,000 to help her through college like I did with her brother, but she bullied my biological daughter for years. I, 43F, have one daughter, 18F, and her father left us when I was pregnant with her. I own a small interior design company and it's very successful, along with me making a very good living. I met my husband, 55M, about 8 years ago. He moved in with me 7 years ago and we got married 2 years ago in a private ceremony. My husband has 2 children in their 20s from a previous marriage. Both my stepchildren hated me and my daughter in the beginning of the relationship. When my husband asked them how they'd feel about him moving in together with me, they both initially hated the idea and told him that if he did it they would just stay permanently with their mother. After a while my husband moved in anyway and said to them that they were welcome should they change their mind. And they sure did after seeing the big house with a pool and all the great accommodations. The boys started liking us gradually and we're on great terms now, but the daughter not so much. She was horrible to me and my daughter. One day when she was 13 I heard her making fun of my daughter's weight and the way her face looks. I knew how my daughter must have felt because I was bullied when I was little too, so I told my husband that his daughter was never allowed to live in my house again. My stepdaughter tried to apologize and she was sobbing but I didn't budge. I had too long of an experience with bullies that I knew it was going to just get worse when they got confronted and had to apologize, and I wasn't going to take the risk, so she moved permanently with her mother. She still bullied my daughter in school after the fact though, and I found out about all of this about a year ago. My daughter was embarrassed to tell us and she thought she could manage her bullies. It broke my heart and I felt so guilty that my baby didn't dare to confide in me. University is free where we live. When my stepson started university, however, I gave him $100,000 so he didn't have to work or anything and just concentrate on his studies. He was so grateful but told us that he wasn't sure he could be trusted with a large sum, so my husband is handling his money and making monthly payments. I'm planning to do the same with my biological daughter. My stepdaughter graduated with great grades and she started medical school this year. She asked her father about her $100,000 and he came to ask me about it. I was confused because before I gifted my stepson I asked my husband if I could do it, and the reason was because I wasn't planning on doing the same thing with my stepdaughter. My stepson and I had a great relationship and he always saw me as a second mom, so giving him the money to help was a no-brainer. My husband got really mad and told me that my stepdaughter had changed a lot, but it wasn't true at all. Although she wasn't living with us anymore, she made sure to make our lives a living hell every time she visited, and even got physical with me and my daughter. If she started playing nice now, it was only because there was money involved and I knew that, and my husband knew that too. I even reminded him that she called me that bitch, and even on her phone my number was saved as that bitch rather than my actual name. My husband hasn't talked to me in over a week after we talked about it. He's saying I'm using my money to control his kids' lives and that he's heartbroken. My husband suggested if I don't have enough money for both daughters I can split my daughter's share between them since my daughter isn't even sure she wants to start college right away. My husband actually had the nerve to say that my daughter probably wouldn't even get into med school anyway. Maybe if I did what he suggested, my stepdaughter would be more grateful and be closer to my daughter and I, but I feel like I don't owe my stepdaughter anything. My daughter and I have suffered enough because of her ways. She could still go through like the rest of her peers, work part-time and take loans, and she has a bright future ahead of her. There may be some truth in his words about me using my money as a reward and punishment. I should do what I want with my money though. Update. I decided that I should try to confront my stepdaughter directly instead of communicating through my husband or text. She accepted my invite to talk and she showed up last Sunday. I sat her and my husband down and I just bluntly asked her why she should expect any financial help from me when she hated my guts. She got defensive and said that she didn't ask me, and that she asked her dad. I told her that I knew she wasn't stupid and she well knew that her brother got his gift from me and not their father. She said, "What's the difference if we're married?" I told her the difference is that her brother treated me and my daughter as family while she always hated us, bullied her little stepsister even in high school, and I asked her if she would give money to someone she knew hated her half of the amount she hated me, and why then she expected me to do that for her. She started crying and apologizing. I told her I wasn't the one she should be apologizing to. I told her that I wished her great success and happiness but that I won't be helping her financially throughout her education. My husband was silent the whole time, and when she left I told him to never compare our daughters again, making my daughter to be the inferior one just because she wasn't as academically successful as her stepsister. I trust my daughter and I want her to be happy, and if she wants to study in a less prestigious school, then so be it. Her happiness is the most important thing to me, and I didn't appreciate him dragging her and comparing her to others when none of what happened has anything to do with her. He tried to apologize and told me he just wanted to help his daughter. I told him he's free to do whatever he wants, just not at my daughter's expense. We have been civil to each other ever since, although he's a bit cold towards me, but hopefully he's just ashamed of this whole episode. I will give him some space because honestly I need some myself to think things over.